Hello, this is Wanker Reviews, and I'll be doing a video on Child's Play, starring Gabriel Bateman and Aubrey Plaza, about a little kid who gets a doll for his birthday from his mom, and soon finds out that the toy is more sinister than he thought. Now, this is a reboot from the 1988 movie. Now, the huge difference between the reboot and the original is that in this reboot, the doll is not possessed by a serial killer. It's not possessed by any kind of human being. It's actually programmed by a chip that was designed by a disgruntled employee that was working in a toy factory in China. So I personally, before even watching the movie, I wasn't too sure about that idea. I did like the Charles Lee Ray storyline, and I liked that it involved like a serial killer in a doll's body. So I wasn't too sure about this whole, the doll pretty much being possessed by an amp that you could find on your phone. But watching the movie and how it played out, I actually liked this idea a little bit more than the serial killer one, and it seemed a little less silly as well, to my surprise. So I did appreciate the fact that the makers of this movie were actually took the time to come up with something new and fresh and something that we haven't seen before, instead of just making this into a standard cash grab remake, because they easily could have done that, but they actually put the time into building up a storyline around this doll and how it would become evil. And the way it becomes evil is that it's not exactly programmed to become evil, but it's programmed to have no limits to what it can or can't do. And that's what the employee did to the doll. It didn't make the doll evil from birth or whatever. It actually just removed any limitations on what it could or could not do. And the doll witnessing different things, that's how it learns evil behavior, is because of what humans are doing, is what it witnessing what humans do and how humans react to certain things, and that's how it becomes the way it is. Now, one thing I really loved about this, that really impressed me about how the movie sets up, is that there's a lot of suspense. Before each kill, it's not like Chucky just comes out with a knife and starts stabbing people and jump scares and blah blah blah. No, there's suspense. And each kill is pretty gory, and each kill also affected me, because not because I actually cared about the characters, but because of the way it was set up. So there's a lot of suspense, and you actually care about what's going on. One scene in particular that really creeped me out, without giving any spoilers, was Chucky standing in the corner of a room in the boy's bedroom, and he's basically replaying the audio of one of the murders that he committed. And the little boy is so freaked out, and he can't tell the police, he can't tell his mom or anyone about what the doll did, because no one would believe him. So this doll is pretty much tormenting him by playing the audio of one of the murders. And that scene is just so freaking creepy. It might even make you laugh to a certain degree, because it's such an uncomfortable scene, or at least it was for me. But yeah, that was one of the most effective scenes in the movie. It was genuinely creepy. And so many horror movies today don't scare me at all. Now, Gabriel Bateman was perfect for this role. He's a great actor. I really loved him in Lights Out, and I was really excited to see him in this, because I knew that he was going to pull this off. Besides the Chucky doll, I think Gabriel Bateman was the best character in this movie. He's probably the only one I really genuinely cared about. The other characters were kind of a hit and miss for me. Aubrey Plaza, I'm not a fan of Aubrey Plaza at all. I could see, I appreciate the humor, because she usually does comedy, and I appreciate the humor that she tried to bring into this movie, and she does come off as somewhat likable, but none of her comedic like not like her sense of humor really did not land. Like she tried to be funny like in the beginning of the movie with other characters, and I could tell that Aubrey Plaza was pretty much bringing her comedic side into this movie, which was great, but none of her like little jokes or her little humorous moments really landed for me. Like I didn't laugh, I didn't chuckle, I didn't smile. Like not like her sense of humor, like her humor style. I don't know, it doesn't do it for me. So I don't know. It felt like she was like trying too hard at times, but I do appreciate her trying to bring some comedic things into it since she usually does comedy without being too over the top. Another thing I didn't really like was the design of Chucky. Like when I first saw the face of this doll, it was really ugly, and I was actually wondering what kid would actually want to buy this for themselves, or what parent would buy this for their kid and let this doll like into their house, because it looked like a really creepy doll. But as the movie went on, I got over that and I started to like Chucky, and I actually did start to feel sorry for him, surprisingly. Like if you have a problem with the design, you'll soon get over it because the movie really is that good. So even though I still like the original Chucky design a lot better than this one, I still like this reboot a lot better than any of the Child's Play sequels. I felt like even though this had some like humor in it, it wasn't like silly and ridiculous like the Child's Play sequels and the original storyline. I just really enjoyed this movie. I do recommend any horror fans out there to go check this out. It's worth seeing in theaters, thank God. It's not a perfect movie, but I do think that a lot of people are going to get some enjoyment out of it. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to give this a 6.5 or 7 out of 10. I'll just give this a 7 out of 10. And thanks for watching.